in my year, what are the takeaways that I can give to myself 1 year ago, and hopefully you get something to take out of this video. This isn't a brag, this is just to record my progress. I don't even think that there is so much to brag in this specific video. This is more so of a documentation, since one of the goals in 2025 is for me to record more videos, personal brand stuff, explaining my life and my experience, and it's something that I really regret not taking more seriously beforehand. So this is my try to make that happen. So let's get into it. What happened in the beginning of this year? So last year, I was living with my parents in Varna. In Sofia, I had an apartment that I was renting with a roommate, and I was constantly traveling in between. Didn't really love it that much. Business was doing all right. I was making profits. We had awesome client results, but for some reason, I felt like I was stuck in 2023 and didn't make much progress. So I was like, how can I do more? How can I explore more? How can I live like a life of an entrepreneur? Not so much that I need to travel, but why did I even choose this path if I'm not meeting different people from all around the world, if I'm not learning, if I'm not constantly evolving myself, and I'm just living in my hometown, spamming the same routes? What happened in January to March? So in the first month of 2024, I went on a trip like a week and a half to Valencia, where I met a friend that I met through a consulting group that I was part of. I was visiting him and another friend of mine who is a close friend from my childhood, who had a in-person event. He's a professional League of Legends player, and I decided why not combine both of them. I could like either stay at their hotel or at his place or whatever, just not be alone, make something useful at the beginning of the year. And what I realized when I went there, it was a really fun experience for sure. I went to see Valencia for the first time, and I realized that my friend Dejan, for example, is a couple years younger than me, and he's from half Croatian, half French, and he was like traveling all around the world, living in random cities. 1 month in, for example, in Bali, 1 month in Spain, and I was like, he wasn't in a better financial situation than me, yet he was paying so much more rent than I was in Bulgaria. And I was like, if people are so risk adverse, maybe it could be stupid, but why ain't I? Like, why am I not doing it? Why am I sitting on my money? So that was the first idea sparked in my head, that I need to move. Like, the environment there, his apartment was insane. He was living with a couple of friends. One of them was also a business owner. He was a business owner, like every day doing, for example, sparring, doing stuff around the city. Ideas, cool apartment. Like, I love the time I spent there. I was like, that's when the idea that I need to move or do something different when I come back started planting in my head. A couple of months later, I actually went on a trip to Norway to meet like another friend group from a business consulting that I was part of. We went to Norway, which was insane. That was the first time me going so far up. It was crazy, as you can see. We did snowmobiles, lit fires, the guy's house. It was crazy. That was right next to the ski slopes. Yeah, it was super cold, but I loved it. It was great. Tons of fun with friends there. And that's when I realized, okay, I might really be restricting myself if I'm not constantly traveling, or at least meeting different people with different ideas, because how I felt during those couple of days, or like it was a week, compared to how I feel in the day-to-day in like my country, in Varna, Bulgaria, you can't even compare it. Like, it's just another life here. You can see we're drinking beers. It was so cold that if you didn't drink your beer in like a minute and a half, it would turn into an ice block. So we ended up drinking like 10 beers there, and I didn't even feel it. I wasn't even drunk. It was one of the best experiences. Met awesome people, and like on the way back, we had to travel through Denmark, then through Germany, then through Netherlands. It was crazy with a car, super fun trip. So when I came back to Varna, I was like, okay, I'm definitely moving apartment. Even if I'm not going to stay here for the end of the year, I need to have a nice place that I really enjoy the environment. I can cook my own food. I can do my own schedule. I could not have roommates. I can do whatever I want. And I was like, okay, I have to move immediately. So I got a new apartment, like 2-bedroom or like three rooms, and I love it. It has an office space, as you can see. I was constantly cooking for myself, like organic foods, raw milk, like great diet. I was feeling on top of the world. I started, like, just because of that move, my mental improved so much. I had such a different opinion of myself, or like how I'm taking risks, because this apartment isn't that expensive. It's considerably expensive for my hometown, but it's not that expensive. And I was like, okay, I'm having something to push me, that I have to pay rent. I have to pay like more on top of what I'm already paying. Like, I have payroll, I have people working for me. It was just like I was kind of stagnating, feeling the comfort of just making money online. I can do whatever I want, but I'm actually not doing whatever I want. I'm still living like I used to live back when I was broke, so why am I still living like this? And just because of the mindset shift, I think you could sense my energy. I was like completely different. Maybe it was the diet, maybe it was the training, maybe it was something else. But just a lot of clients started reaching out to me, and I signed like I could instantly see the improvement of the change in environment. And it was like a fear in my head. Okay, if I take this big step, it's not a big step. I'm just moving from like the same town to the same town, but I'm in another apartment. I was like, am I gonna make rent? Am I gonna place myself into an uncomfortable situation? It's not even that expensive, guys. And I had the money. I don't know what I was thinking. And right after 5 new clients in the next month, since it was so many clients, we couldn't deliver. Like, we had struggles delivering the deliverables, and I started dabbling with AI. Could we use AI to help us write scripts or make ad creatives? Or yeah, and we saw great results with it. So I'm gonna have a touch on that later. But that's when the initial idea started like brewing up. Overall, great Q1. I moved. I had a really good daily routine of exercising, working, as I said, confidence, etc. So Q2, what happened Q2? As you know, I have, or I don't know if you know, I have an educational app that I've been building for the last 5 years. And this last year, I actually had to relaunch it. I had to rebuild it from the start. Initially, the app was planned to be launched early January, but due to missed deadlines from designers and developers, it had to overrun into April. And I didn't like that, honestly, because my app is supposed to help with exam prep, and exams are during end of May and June. And if I didn't have enough time to market, it would be another failed launch. So unfortunately, the app build was considerably more expensive than what I intended it. It went from like what was maybe 30K in development build. It ended costing me like 60K. That's Bulgarian level. And I had also been working with some influencers that I wanted to do collaborations with, and because of the delayed launch, I couldn't, like, it all had to be scrambled up in a few weeks, and the launch was like kind of not perfect. It wasn't executed perfect. All came through the failed deadlines, but still, for 2 or 3 months, we started posting organic content. We started posting on TikTok, on Instagram, and yeah, pretty much that. With like 50 videos, I think we managed to gather around like 3 or 4 million views in total. Like 4,000 signups for my app, or like 3,500 like signups before it was launched. So like there was some sort of wait list, and it ended up generating around 12,000 downloads, out of which roughly 1,000 were paid subscribers, which was my initial goal. I will not lie to you. My goal was this year to validate the product, if it's even worth my time, is to hit 1,000 paid users, and that's what we did with the launch. So you could say that it was successful, but I know that we could have done more if we did it on time, if we had the structure. I myself run an agency, marketing agency, so we know how to do paid traffic, but I didn't do any paid traffic. Still, we hit the goal. Yeah, I'm satisfied with it. We're definitely building on top of it. It was very expensive, very slow, and a lot of headaches, but that's the life when you're working as a business owner, and there's always a fire to put out. During Q2 was the first time that I decided to participate in a podcast, to participate in a seminar. And I saw a lot of fruits in that, even though this podcast in itself, I didn't have time to prepare for it. I didn't know the questions beforehand. I freestyled it. It was bad lighting, bad everything pretty much. I really appreciate the guys that invited me. It was like, at the end of it, I'm not really proud with how I turned out for the podcast, but people are telling me it's great. It has a couple of thousand views. That doesn't matter that much. The idea is that I put myself out there, that I was like trying stuff that I didn't try before. And from it, I got like a lot of client referrals. I didn't work with each one of them. The idea was that people started seeing me online. And I got invited to a conference speech. I was, like the previous year, I was guest lecturer at one big university in Bulgaria, so like for digital marketing. And yeah, it was a lot to answer questions, network with people, which was definitely like, I felt getting better at it with each repetition. And for sure, I will be doing more content, more podcasts in the upcoming year. This is something that I definitely see as something good. Generally, like I was on top of my diet, I was on top of my routine. Yeah, pretty much I was dialed in. I don't know which photos okay, this isn't my best phone for sure, but yeah, I wasn't slacking off or anything. So Q3, that's when like June 1st, I wake up and there was an ad that I saw for an AI course. I was like, holy shit, I need to make an AI course, because in the last couple of months, I had been learning so much about different AI tools. I was testing, clients were seeing success. It was so much cheaper, so much easier, so much faster than what we were doing previously, that there is no way in hell I will, like, this would change so many businesses if I make a detailed training. Even if it didn't sell to other people, I could give it to my team and we could leverage that as an internal SOP. That's how it initially started. Like, I was recording looms for my team to see how I'm using the tools, but then it started looking like a library. So I decided to wrap it up, package it, and try to sell it. And that's like my first product that is not my app, because my app is like really cheap. I'm not making money with it. It's like kind of money dump that I expect like goodwill out of it. It's not to make profits. It's not to become a millionaire or anything. So that's why when I started thinking about my first product, the AI course on teaching other agency owners, creatives, or designers how to use AI to create content that they could use in advertising or already improve their existing advertising with AI. So that's when the idea formed. I started figuring it out. I started watching even more courses, but I hadn't formed the idea yet. I went on a trip to Valencia. Sorry, this is another Instagram post. So I was with a couple of friends, boys trip, right? It was super fun. Again, I completely reset it. I was like, okay, even if my life is really good here in Varna, it could be even better if I meet new people. I'm constantly on the move, because if your brain starts seeing the same thing day in, day out, it kind of gets used to the information. You start doing stuff on autopilot. Even if you go on a walk to a place that you've never been before, your brain is forced to make new synaptic connections and think more, keeping it sharper, keeping it even entertaining for you. And I believe that that's when I found out I have to be on the move all the time. I have to be doing something, otherwise I would like feel like I'm gonna explode. Yeah, here's some degenerate videos of us in Valencia. Yeah, these are just memes. So that's when I started, okay, is the way I'm operating my agency the way I want to live? Do I really, because most of my clients are in Bulgaria, do I really want to live in Bulgaria? Can I move abroad? Do I need to find other clients? Would it be a problem with the time zones? Since I'm working like online, it's not necessary, but Bulgarian clients have, like here the standard is lower than, for example, in Spain. So I have to be charging, like I'm charging expensive for Bulgaria, like, and I'm charging dirt cheap for Spain. So if I, for example, want to live in Spain and I want to be on their standard, should I work with clients like that? And I was like trying to figure out, okay, what type of clientele do I want? What kind of projects do I like? Stuff like that. And I decided to try and opt in for another type of offer. That is something that we kind of pivoted into with the agency initially, where we were doing just media buying, then we started doing media buying and creative, then we started doing media buying, creative, and email, then Google, then conversion rate optimization. I was like, are we going full stack? Are we just doing everything? So what happens if I just offer to someone, okay, I'm going to partner up with you, you pay me upfront, for example, 15, 20K, and I build out the entire system that I've already implemented for other clients, and you pay me just the difference between the results that you get, a percentage of the difference between the results that you get and that you are currently getting. So I decided to test that out. I spent months in developing the offer, like materials, SOPs, etc. And when it was time to launch the idea, I didn't quite like it. I had the client on a trial run, like if it will work out. It was like even a cheaper retainer, just to see if I would enjoy the work, if it's like the whole funnel, like from A to Z. And like we worked with one client like that for like 4 or 5 months, and we're splitting ways right now, and they love the work that we did. They just thought that it would be better for them to build it in-house and keep their costs lower, which I completely understand, but it's still, I didn't enjoy it even that much. It was like too much work, and if we didn't immediately start earning more than the previous months, we were getting like, I was paying out of pocket for my team to do all that work, which wasn't perfect, and it was like definitely a learning experience. So the agency pivot was not going to happen. We were just going to focus on banger creatives, market research, and media buying, email maybe, and slight Google consulting, but that's not the primary idea. Is to create banger ads that no one else is creating, since media buying in 2024 and beyond is going to die. It's just machine learning and algorithms. So you really want to be dialed in on, do you know your perfect client? Do you know what you're doing? Do you know how your product stands out, and how are you marketing it in a way that is understandable for cold audience, pretty much, or in a better way than your competitors? So after that, in July, it was again partying. I had my birthday. Yeah, pretty much enjoying summer. My niece had, what's it called? She was baptized. Yeah, lifting weights again. As you can see, pretty decent body fat. I think I have progress pics here. Yeah, decent. I would say it wasn't I wanted to look even leaner, but I didn't get to it. Maybe it was too much partying, too much drinking, but generally my diet was good. I was eating out from time to time, but still that was a really pillar moment to have a gym close next to my house, because that made it so much easier to like keep on track. So we move into Q4. Q4 is when I launched the AI Almanac course. That was my product. I finally finished it, recorded a couple of VSLs, and I launched ads. So initially, it didn't, like, it was a few sales here and there. Some days I'm like 50 euro profit, some days I'm 50 euro loss. And I decided to make another VSL, blah, blah, blah. When I draw the line, I spent like 2,000 euro testing it and generated pretty much the same in revenue. But after taxes, maybe I'm at a slight loss. But what it did differently was, it was like, it wasn't supposed to be a lead magnet, but it was primarily shown to people in Europe, even more in Bulgaria. and people started noticing me as like an authority because I actually am. I have like millions of spend, millions in generated revenue. I know what I'm talking about. This is tried and tested. These things aren't, I'm not coming out of my ass with them. We know that they work. So a lot of people started contacting me to work with us, but I didn't like all of them. I didn't like all of the projects. Some of them even offered me to become like kind of to make my marketing agency, their internal team, and split profits like at a high rate. But I couldn't like stop doing everything that I was already doing and invest it all into one project. Anyways, the aftermath of the AI Almanac course was net positive since I got new clients, I got new perspective, and just as a product in itself, it wasn't good enough or like my marketing wasn't good enough. I wasn't spending enough time on it to perfect it. But it was the first time that I saw like my own product making me sales and thinking about marketing it. So it was a mindset shift that I was always selling someone else's products. I was like, my app isn't a good like it's a pay on subscription, and first you have a free trial, so it's hard to track immediate return on investment, like track your profits day to day. But that was the first time when I saw money like coming in this day, and 3 days later Stripe was paying it to me. So that was like definitely I needed that to see that I actually could be making even a bigger impact, more profit, and helping more people with a digital product. So now I'm going to develop even more products. I'm going to improve the marketing. And that's when a friend of mine, he already created a successful course, a really close friend of mine in my country. And we decided to partner up for another digital product that now we're building. It's going to be launched in a week's time, start of Q1 2025. And I have high hopes for it. But this is something that I definitely needed. Like I needed to understand that selling digital products is like have it run through my own hands. It's not so much like selling courses, it's selling information that packaged in a nice way, trying to explain to people how it actually helps them and how the cost of the course is irrelevant to like it's the value of the course is so much higher. So yeah, that was definitely a game changer to start thinking about new digital products, and we ended up building it in this like from start to finish pretty much in 3 months. We went on a trip to Barcelona, pretty chill trip, but that's when we were like hunting whether we should move to Valencia next year or Barcelona. For now, I think Barcelona is superior. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, great place. All these are analog photos, so that's why they look so bad. Yeah, fun trip in general. Awesome weather. One thing that we were like Q4 in Barcelona. It was so warm. It was so pleasant. And right now it's Christmas, right? Outside is pouring rain. It's dark at like 4 p.m. Nothing to do. It's not a dead city, but if you compare Varna to Barcelona, we cannot. One thing on top of everything was that even through those trips, even through the fact that I was making digital products, I hired more people into the agency. I trained more people, and it started working even better as a well-oiled machine. I think at least my internal structure in the agency is great. Everyone likes working with each other, and we saw incredible results in Q4. Pretty much all of the clients had record days. Like some of the clients, when we started working together, they were making 20K, 30K a month. Some of them made that in one day in Q4. Some of them like doubled their best months from the previous year, even previous Black Fridays. So overall, it was a great month for business. And since we work a percentage with our partners, it was also a record month for the agency. I had to reject, though, a lot of brands that came through the AI Almanac and the previous like seminars and podcasts, because they would lead me astray from the bigger picture. I want to build a boutique agency. I want to work with a handful of clients. I want to love the projects. I want to have like a high ROI in my time, not specifically in money, but if I say we're going to do something for one client, it could be like a 10% increase in profitability, for example, and that would be millions. But for someone else, even if we do 50% increase, it would be, let's say, 100K, which is, I need to help each one of our clients, but we do get paid for the magnitude of value that our decisions give. So I would rather be making bigger decisions that are more impactful, pretty much. What is this? Oh yeah, so one of our clients opened up a physical store in my city, and I was taking a selfie with it. It was cool. So let's see the takeaways for the year. So don't be afraid to try and quit quickly if your heart's not in it. So for example, in the previous year, I had stopped running my apartment business because it wasn't making me much profit. It was a great hassle. And here in Varna, for example, there are seasons, like it's a seasonal city. There are a lot of guests in summer, but winter it's pretty dead. So business goes down for Airbnbs, obviously. So I cut that out. I decided to not work with certain projects that I didn't enjoy doing and my team didn't enjoy doing, and there wasn't great communication with the clients. One thing I've underlined is hire fast, fire faster. So if you try to make it work for because I'm a people pleaser for sure. I would even hire someone if he's not qualified with the ambition that he will need to step up and prove himself, but that's not always the case. So you have to be upfront, and if your goals aren't aligning, just split ways so that you can achieve what you want to achieve and they can achieve what they want to achieve, and not waste each other's time, not waste each other's money. Change is inevitable. Use it to your advantage. If you look back at the previous years, what has happened, not mine specifically, even yours, nothing is the same that it used to be. Even if you're living in the same city, even if you're doing the same stuff, everything feels different, right? Well, it's actually entirely because of the actions that you already took. No one else took the actions for you. Okay, you were born here. That wasn't your choice, but you can make the most out of it. Life is your game. You're the main character. You decide whether to go left, right, forwards, or backwards. You decide whether to talk, jump, skip, kick, punch, whatever. It's entirely in your hands, and the gameplay that you see on your screen is entirely dependent on you. If you feel better playing on a specific map, go to that map. If you feel better playing in a specific guild with specific people, go to these people, ask them. Even if you have no point of contact, even if you have no mutual friends, just find someone that you like, that is living, or that you think is living the life that you want to live, and go and ask them. Can I be your friend? Can we hang out? Can I be of any value to you? Or try to figure out how you can be of value to them and start moving. If I didn't ask for my mobile application, the owners of the largest largest companies that are with online education in my country, I would have went in a completely different route with the business. But since I am eager, I want to be on their place. I want to change the educational system here in Bulgaria in a way. I said, okay, what am I going to lose? I'm going to just PM them on LinkedIn. Nobody cares. Even if they ignore me, who cares? And I managed to secure an in-person meeting with one of them and a 1 hour call with the other one that exited his company. That's crazy, all right? And it was a really good company. Anyways, I just asked, right? I just asked, and I was in a table having a 2-hour-long conversation. They referred people to me. They give me specific insights. I knew what to do. It's the same with anything. With what people you surround yourself with, that's what you're gonna get. It's not if your friends are talking about headshots, casinos, fucking disco, nightclubs, and Tinder dates. That's what you're gonna end up getting. Is that what you want? If that's what you want, completely go for it. But if you want more out of life, not specifically money, just impact, just making the most out of the time that you're alive. You're gonna die one day. People that are around you, they're gonna die. You're gonna die. Whatever opinions they held about how you're living your life are gonna be irrelevant. So you might as well enjoy yourself or end your life. Not meaning go out and fuck hookers and take cocaine, but life is yours. Life is yours, and it's there for the taking. So don't wait. Don't listen to what other people's expectations of you are, and just act. That's my takeaway from the year. And do more of what's already working, and don't try to reinvent the wheel. If for example they told me, okay, you need to do this in your company, I would do it blindly. I will not ask questions. Since they are ahead of me, they know what they're talking about. If the person that I'm taking advice from isn't where I want to be, I would start contemplating. I would start thinking, okay, could I do this better? But if somebody's giving advice and is where you want to be, then just follow what he does to the T without asking questions. When you do it exactly what he says and you don't get the results, then you can start thinking. But before that, don't think, just act. What I underline also is focus more on less stuff. Cut out distractions and shiny object syndrome. Well, I have 2 different businesses, right? My agency and my app. I used to have this Airbnb business. Okay, the Airbnb business is cut. If I could go back in time and know how much time I would spend in the app development and money, I don't know if I would have done it right now. But since I'm already there is opportunity cost in quitting, sunk cost fallacy, that I don't want to. I want to see the end of it. I want to see if it happens. I think it's good karma because I believe in the product. Even if I don't make money, it's still good. But I know for a fact that if I didn't have the app, I didn't have the apartment business, I could have been more focused on the agency. And the agency is something that I'm going to focus on long term, longer term. I'm going to build out my team. I'm going to build out my digital products, and the agency is going to feed out into the digital products because I'm getting real data that I could feed into the course, and the course is going to feed more clients into the agency if I want. I could productize it, so we're only doing things that we like to do. For example, figuring out new creatives, new angles, new advertorials, etc. If we like doing that, that's what we're going to be focusing on. Being super good at what we do, not focusing on the new email strategy, the new Google strategy, the new conversion rate optimization strategy. Just gonna focus on what has been working. So that being said, here are my goals for the year. First, I want to optimize my health. I'm 93, 94, maybe I'm 92 right now kg. I don't know my body fat, but I want to go sub 10% body fat. I want to be still agile, flexible, and strong, which I am somewhat. I just want to be better. I want to do more functional exercises. I want to do sprinting. I want to start playing soccer more regularly. I don't know why I'm saying soccer, it's football. I want to 2x the agency. It isn't impossible. I think I already 2x the agency last year, so I didn't even put that much time and effort into it. So I want to focus on either 2xing what we generate with our clients, so the client value, or seeing the client list. The 2xing of the client list, I'm not so sure about that. Probably we're going to stick on getting high returns for our current clients, but still we need to have some sort of way to generate attention and bring newer clients to us. in general, we have really long collaborations with our clients. We have clients for 4 years, 3 years, 2 years. Like this year, we started working with 2 brands. We're still working with them. Like everything is going great. I'm very happy with the results that we are getting with the agency, but I want more for them. I want more for them and for us, not specifically money-wise. I want impact. I want their businesses to make an impact as well because we believe in the products. I want to scale the digital products that I'm about to launch and the ones that I've launched, like the AI course with marketing related like sub products, templates for ads that we have found that are successful, a mini course on how to script ads because that's really important. Like most of marketing is how do you make your market research and how do you launch the ads. That's pretty much all of it. I want to aim for 1 million in profit at the end of the year, which I think is completely feasible, even though that's like 2 or 3x on what has happened this year. I think it's definitely achievable. It's not even that high of a goal. I'm gonna leave it. I want to buy land. It doesn't matter if it's in Bulgaria, if it's a house, or it's just land. I want to buy land. I want to buy at least 1 Bitcoin. Currently, I have 1/10 of a Bitcoin. I want to buy more. I want to move to Barcelona at least for 3 months. Yeah, that doesn't need much explaining. I want to live abroad. I want to see what life has to offer. I don't want to like be stuck in the same cycle each year and live out the same year again and again. That's why I need to set goals. I need to have a vision. I need to know where I'm heading. I want to attend more conferences as a speaker or as a guest to expand my network. I found that really helpful in the previous year, but not too much, not to the extent that I don't do my work and I'm not in the daily nitty gritty. So I want to revive my personal brand. This is an example of one video that is like me reviving my brand, just reminding that I'm still alive and still kicking. And yeah, you're going to see probably more of me. If you don't, I mean, that's cool too. And the last row is continue being a sycophant. Overall, I'm pretty happy with how the year has turned out. All my friends and family are healthy. I'm healthy. It didn't matter if like the launch of the app failed or I lost a client or whatever. I don't know if maybe I did. But all in all, everything is all right. And I know that it will be all right even if it's worse. But I'm very happy with how this year turned out. There aren't many things that I regret doing. I regret only not doing more. So
that's what the Ziz cunts do. That's what the revolution is, bro. None of these fucking sad cunts. We're all gonna fucking make it, bro. That's it.